Alright, welcome to the channel everybody. Aesop Grim here, and this is my second video that I've done on trying to fix my warrior's DPS. We're going to be going over another Molten Core raid tonight, and the format for this is that I'm going to kind of give you this intro where I show you my gear, I show you my consumes, I show you my raid buffs. This is all being told. I'm talking to you after the raid has been accomplished, so I'll tell you of that stuff. I'll show you where you can look for what my abilities are, and then I'll tell you a few special contexts for this particular raid that I think are important. Then we're going to briefly look at where I lined up in relation, mostly not so much where I'm ranked, but mostly in relation to the other warriors in my raid. For where I wound up, I think I have really lifted my performance a ton. And then after that, I'm going to show you the clips from the boss fights, and then we're going to go over logs. I don't really know how to parse logs as well as a lot of you do, but I can do some. So we'll take a look at that. Okay, so pre-context. I last played, prior to starting Season of Discovery, I last played World of Warcraft 14 years prior to last December. So a lot has happened since then, especially regarding the tools that you can use to learn how to do stuff and the theory crafting for the classes. And so I've had a lot of help from my guild over the entire breadth of Season of Discovery, but especially this phase, and trying to learn Fury Warrior DPS. This has eluded me the entire phase. I've been working on it so hard. And one of my newer guild mates, and he has a friend in their former guild. His friend is still in that guild. His friend's name is Joe. Joe has some really impressive personal achievements and guild achievements when it comes to this game. And Joe was nice enough to come talk to me on several occasions in Discord, where we figured some really important things out. So I want to tell you a couple of those. One is that I do not do key bindings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know a lot of you do, but for me that has never been comfortable. I hate it. I don't like it. I keep my hands on WSAD, and I use Q and E, Shift Q and Shift E, mouse button 4, and Shift mouse button 4. That's been what I've done since practically day one. But with Fury Warrior, because of how input lag works, and with those modifiers of shift, I was really hurting my ability to spam Heroic Strike as much as I needed to. I thought I was doing a great job. I thought that on 2 different occasions. So I thought it, then I argued about it, and the guys were able to explain to me and make it clear, no, you are not Heroic Striking enough. And so then I stepped my game up on that, and then they told me, no, you're still not good enough. And I argued again. Right. And then the third time, I think there was a third time that they were like, look, I know it hurts to hear, but you're not Heroic Striking enough. It was funny. It was funny in 2020 hindsight. So what I did is that I finally had the bright idea, all on my own. I didn't hear this from anybody else, to put Heroic Strike on my mouse wheel down. It's a scroll wheel on my mouse, right? That allows me, because it's a scroll wheel, it allows me to just spam the heck out of it. But the second biggest thing, and maybe even bigger thing, is that it's my right hand doing it, allowing my left hand to remain free to just do my movement keys and all my other abilities. And then I found out that while that was an epiphany for me, and I was like, I am a genius, I need to make a video about this. I found out that like a lot of people do that, right? So it was an epiphany for me, but it's common knowledge for many others. And I did that about 5 minutes before the raid last week, and I overhauled my keys based off of Joe's suggestion. He said he never puts primary abilities on any keys that require a modifier, And I can see why, because with input lag or whatever it is, sometimes you got to spam these buttons before they actually go off. And whenever I was using just my left hand, having to spam a button like let's say Bloodthirst, that maybe I had on Shift Q, this is just an example, it's going to prohibit me from hitting Heroic Strike. I'm having to wait for that to go off first and then Heroic Strike. Now, to me, it doesn't feel, I'm a noob, right? I'm like, oh, that only takes a second or two. No, man. No. That is what is ending you on your DPS. Like, close enough is not close enough. That only counts in hand grenades, right? I forget how the whole phrase goes. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Close enough is only good, only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So that was huge for me. Now, there are still major things I'm missing, right? For example, I remembered at the last second to equip my diamond flask for Lucifron. It came off cooldown right as we were charging, and I could have sworn I activated this thing, but maybe there was 1 second left. Maybe it hadn't finished that last global cooldown rotation, that goes around. Because when the fight was over, it was still looking like it looks like right now. And this thing has a 2-minute cooldown. It should have been telling me that it's on cooldown. So that's a major, major mistake, right? Major flaw. So I still have lots of things that I'm doing wrong. But I'm telling you, those things will get cleared up now that I can focus on those things. Those things will get cleared up with that BATS practice. Getting my rotation right, my priority system, having the muscle memory for my new key bindings, that's what really I needed to get done. So let's move on then. I guess let's look at gear first. This will show you why I've been looking for help so much. I have really good gear. I have the Lion's Heart Helm with 20 fire resistance. I have Eskendar's Collar. I have Pauldrons of Might with 15 attack power, Majordomo's Drape with 20 fire resistance, Hauberk of Might with the +4 to all stats. I have Wrist Guards of Instability with no enchant because they are not bis. I have Hands of Might with the attack speed +1%, Sash of Might. I don't remember if there's an enchant for this or not. This is kind of something I won recently, so I just don't remember if I'm supposed to have an enchant. If I am, I just haven't gotten it yet. Leggings of Might with +20 fire resistance, and then same thing with boots. I won these real recently. Treads of Might, and normally I have minor speed increase on there. Down here I've got Ocean's Breeze. I've got Drake Claw Band of the Berserker still. I've got Blackhand's Breath for most of the raid, just Diamond Flask for the Lucifron, but again, I don't think it queued up. So I was missing both Diamond Flask and Blackhand's Breath, I think. And I have Hand of Justice. Over here I've got Empyrean Demolisher with Crusader. Magmadar's Left Claw is not bis, obviously, but it's still good, and I've got Crusader on it. And I've got Dragon Slayer's Javelin. So with that kind of equipment setup, I should be just smoking things, right? And I haven't been. So it's been an all phase, really strong effort on my part, just working at it. And I think tonight I got a lot of things right. Over here for runes, Endless Rage Rune, Raging Blow, Blood Surge, Consumed by Rage, Rallying Cry, Rampage, Single-Minded Fury, Fresh Meat, Fist Weapon Specialization, and Defense Specialization. For my buffs, or not my buffs, but my consumables, I had Greater Fire Protection Potions. By the way, I'm recording this after the raid, so the raid's already happened. I have Elixir of Giants, Elixir of Mongoose, Free Action Potions, Restorative Potion, or Potions, Flask of the Titans, which persists through death. I did not have Greater Arcane Protection Potion. I had Elemental Sharpening Stone for my offhand, but tonight, normally we have Wild Strikes. Tonight we did not have Wild Strikes, and I failed to put these Sharpening Stones on my main hand. So that's another big loss of DPS. My food of choice is Blessed Sunfruit for the 10 strength. And think that's it for consumables. When it comes to buffs, I had every world buff I know of. I had all 3 Dire Maul buffs. I had Songflower buff. I had the DMF buff. I had both of the Stormwind buffs, Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, and I think it's the Rend buff. And if I'm forgetting anything, I had that also. I'm almost certain that I had every world buff that I can get, or at least all the ones I know of. But I think I listed all the ones that I know of. And then, of course, I went over consumes. Real quickly, just to give an idea, we're going to be taking a look at video clips of the raid boss fights. And then after that, I'm going to go over logs. But for a general idea, we're going to look at the DPS meters. Now, we're not really necessarily looking for where I'm ranking overall. We're more looking, I think this is correct. We're more looking at where I'm ranking in relation to the other warriors in my guild. PD Minas is a very good player with better gear than me. So if I can be in his ballpark or better, I feel like I'm doing real good. Because different guilds handle different bosses different ways, and our responsibilities on these boss fights might not be the same as yours. So I really want to look at myself in comparison to the other warriors in my guild. Kayla might be the best player when it comes to the warriors. I'm not really sure. That's a pretty subjective. PD's awfully good, but Kayla might be the best, and his gear, I don't think he's as well geared as me, but he's not bad geared. Euclio is just now, he's new to the guild, and he's just now gearing up, and I'm telling you, he consistently outperforms his gear rating. It looks like it to me. So I think that he's a pretty good player too, but he doesn't have the gear. So that gives you an idea of what we're looking for. Where am I at in relation to especially PD and Kayla? Okay, so here then on Lucifron, it turns out that I came in number 1 at 1.5k. I came in at number 1 for that fight, even though I'm pretty sure I did not get Diamond Flask off. So not bad, not bad, not bad. Magmadar, PD comes in at number 5. Kayla's at number 9 at 1.6k. I am way down here. I don't know what happened here, but I'm at 1.2k. Even though this was my best heroic strike performance, I had 30% heroic strikes. I think it's my slams. I'm probably missing slams, even though I'll see that in the videos. But it feels like I feel like I'm hitting them often, but I'm maybe not, But moving on, we need this to be quick. Gehennas, PD comes in at 7. Kayla's at 10. I'm in at 14 at 1.1k. Heroic strike at 19.8%. Garr, ramped up as the first warrior at 971. Okay, moving on. Baron Geddon. PD comes in at 10. I'm right behind him. 670 DPS for PD, 643 for me at number 11. So again, I feel pretty good about that. Shazzrah. PD comes in at 5. Kayla at 6. We got to drop down a little bit, and I'm in at number 12 at 921. So probably not my best performance there. But again, 25.8% heroic strikes. I think it's probably the slams. Sulfuron Harbinger. Kayla comes in at 11. He's the top warrior. Followed immediately by ramped up. Okay, so 1.4k, and then there's PD. So we're all pretty close. Kayla did the best. Golemagg the Incinerator. I think this is the guy that killed me. Whichever guy it is that you have to pull off of him, melee DPS at 15%, and then you have, like, he enrages, and you have a timer to kill him before he wipes the whole raid. That fight, I died on it. So I lost all my world buffs at that point in time. Ramped up number 1 at 8 when it comes to the warriors at 1.4k. Majordomo Executus, I think this one was not so good for me. No, I'm there with the same group, with the grouping. Kayla's number 1 at 1.3k. I'm number 2 at 1.2k when it comes to the warriors. Ragnaros, I don't have my world buffs here, obviously. PD Minas is at number 10. Kayla's at number 12 at 818. And then there's a drop off And with the number of 666, I'm in right after Kayla at number 13. So that's the general picture of how I did on my DPS. So let's go ahead and roll into the video clips I have for the boss fights, and then we'll take a look at logs. Oh shoot, I'm supposed to have my flask up.
Three, two, one. Five, four, three, two, one.
Empower. 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 Empower.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Empower. 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 Empower.
What's your point?
Yeah.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Empowered. Empowered. Empowered.
And
AOE incoming. Watch your feet.
Empowered. 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 Empowered.
AOE incoming. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Empowered. 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 Empowered.
AOE incoming. Watch your feet.
Empowered. Empowered.
AOE incoming. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Empowered.
AOE incoming. Watch your
Empowered.
feet. Watch your feet.
Empowered.
okay, 19% is what I see. Oh, you said 20. Okay,
Empowered.
thought you said 12.
AOE incoming.
Copy.
Run out.
Okay, running. I ran right into you guys. Okay, I'm sorry.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Empowered. Empowered. Empower. 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 Empower.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Empower.
Interrupt.
Empower.
Interrupt. Interrupt.
Empower. Empower.
Interrupt.
Empower.
Interrupt. 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 Five.
Empower. 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 Empower.
Watch your step.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I was.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Reckless mortals. None may challenge the sons of the living flame.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Stop attacking. Interrupt. Stop attacking.
Empower. Empower.
Stay your attack, mortals. I submit. I submit.
3,
Now
2,
for you,
1.
insects. Boldly you sought the power of Ragnaros. Now you shall see it firsthand.
Empower.
By fire be purged. Taste the flames of Sulfuron. By fire be purged. By fire be purged. Taste the flames of Sulfuron. By fire be purged.
Empower.
Taste the flames of Sulfuron. By fire be purged. By fire be purged. Taste the flames of Sulfuron. Come forth, my servants. Defend your master.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
By fire be purged! Taste the flames of Sulfuron! By fire be purged! By fire be purged! Taste the flames of Sulfuron!
Empower.
By
Empower.
fire be
Empower. Empower.
Taste the flames of Sulfuron! Taste the flames of Sulfuron!
Empower. Empower.
By fire be purged!
Empower.
The blades of Sulfuron!
All right, guys. So now that we've been through the actual video clips of the raid fights, and you have a good idea of what things look like for me, I'm doing this live. I haven't even looked at these logs yet, and to the best of my ability, which is not very good, we're going to take a look at what the logs show. So here's Lucifron. I know to click on damage done, and then we can look at ramped up and see that I parsed green 28. My item level, though, gray parse. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I thought I did better. I thought I remember doing better than PD, but he green parsed. So for his item level, he did lower than me in this parse. So I don't know. Maybe he had something different on. It did show him with a different icon. But yeah, it shows that I'm higher than him. Okay. Well, anyway, 5.4%. Now from here, I don't really know much else to do except to just simply mouse over. And you can see 25.42% heroic strike, 23.57% melee, deep wound, slam, bloodthirst. Slam is 10.68%, bloodthirst 9.79. Let's see about PD. His slam's not even on there. Bloodthirst is at 7.53. Kayla. Yeah, see, execute, both of them used execute. I failed I failed to use execute, and I didn't diamond flask, and still wound up higher. So I feel like I got a lot of potential there. I know that there's a way that you can break this down. It'll show you all of your buffs. Oh, here it is, buffs. Battle Shout, Consumed by Rage, Fengus Ferocity, Might of Stormwind, Sage's Dark Fortune of Damage, Songflower Serenade, Rampage, Demonic Pact, Flurry, and Rage, Holy Strength, Haste, Blood Surge. There's got to be more than that. Defensive buffs, Commanding Shout, Might of Stormwind, Muldar's Moxie, Songflower Serenade. Okay. Tactician. So I'm looking at new stuff here. I've never really gotten into this screen, so I don't want to spend too much time on it because it'll just eat up time in the video, and I don't really know what I'm looking at here because I'm seeing it for the first time. But what else do we have? Debuffs, deaths, interrupts, dispels, resource casts. So I guess I can use this to find out where it is that I lost my buffs. All right, moving back to damage though. So that's for Lucifron. Moving on to Magmadar then, and we click on damage done. And here I gray parsed, and of course it's going to be a gray parse here too. I'm not quite sure what active means. Is this how much time you're on the boss, like hitting him actively, I assume? %. What did he do? 23.27% on melee. He did a lot of cleave. Heroic strike is at 11%. Deep wound and bloodthirst. Okay, so now compare that to myself, and I'll look at Kayla too. I'm at 30% heroic strike, so I didn't do any cleaving. Melee 20.56. Deep wound 11.4. Bloodthirst 11. Slam is at 6.94. What about Kayla? Melee, heroic strike, deep wound, execute, blood. All right, Kayla played it more like I did. 24%. Execute. See, again, failing to get execute in. That's a little bit to do with my buttons. I haven't had a whole lot of practice because execute only comes up during a certain window to develop muscle memory for that. I'm real close, but that's 2 for 2 on the opening 2 bosses that I didn't get execute in, I guess. Or it's not showing up in my top abilities. So that's a problem, right? I can fix that, though. I can. That's very fixable. That's a different problem than the confusion and chaos that I've been in up to this point, just trying to find out what in the heck am I doing wrong. You know, this started out with even looking at different runes and stuff. So I've come a long way. All right, damage done. Due to PD, Kayla ramped up, gray parsing. Melee, heroic strike. There, I finally unleash execute for 17%. Bloodthirst 10%, deep wound 9.63. How are we looking with the other guys? Melee, heroic strike. Execute is third ability. Is it the same for Kayla? Fourth ability for Kayla. For me, it's the third. 17%. 13.5%. How much damage did he do, though? 15.9k. It was a bigger percentage of my overall damage, but I only did 13.5. And Kayla did 8.9k. But had overall better DPS than me. See, that's an outperformance. I probably have him beat on gear. I'm almost positive about it, but he outperformed me. And it looks like he may have outperformed me kind of badly. But that's okay. He's excellent. He's an excellent player. Okay, so what was my time on target, I guess? 94.11. Doesn't seem bad. Look at Calicane, man, just purple parsing all the way through. Syntheus and Miriam also. All right. Let me take a look at buffs to see if I still have my buffs. Did I look at the wrong guy? Damage done. Click ramped up. And then click on buffs. Okay, yes, I still have my buffs. All right, so we'll close that out. Garr, oh, I forgot to tell you guys, it's heat level 2. But move to damage done. Now in this one, it shows Kayla as the #1 warrior, gray parsing. All the rest of us gray parsed then as well. But 23.88% on melee, 22.83 on heroic, 22.53 on. So I did more heroic strikes. I think that's a win for me. But again, he outdamaged me. He did 11k worth of heroic strike. Oh, look at that, 9.3k. That I need to be looking at those raw numbers. So he did more. How much was he on the boss? 37.33, 33.96, 36.75. How about Euclio? 33.17. He's a little closer to me. That might be the difference. They hit the boss more often. My bloodthirst, 16.78%, 7k. I did more bloodthirst than him. Execute. Do I have execute on there? No. Once again, execute. Euclio actually runs the execute rune, so that's why his execute's so high. So I failed to execute again. So that's a major miss, right? That's why I'm saying I'm still not good. But these kinds of things here, a billion times easier to fix than just sitting there wondering, what am I doing wrong? You know, I at least can tell what I'm doing wrong now, and I can fix that. I can fix that fast. Like next week, I'll probably just really focus on getting into execute phase and going off of the kill timer and not when execute pops up as an ability. Let's see here. I need to click my name and then go to buffs. And I still got everything. Okay, so that's Garr. Baron Geddon. Maybe this is the one that blows everybody up. All right. PD #1, ramp #2. We're very, very close in our DPS. 751 to 721. Heroic strike, melee, deep wound, bloodthirst, execute. Melee, deep wound, heroic strike, bloodthirst, execute. So I did execute here for 7.7k worth of damage. He did a lot more. So where did I beat him at in order to be this close to him? 32.8k. My melee. I did more melee than him. And he did more heroic strike than me. It looks like my deep wound might have done more too. 21.8. I had 26.6. So my melee and my deep wound pulled me up. But he massacred me when it comes to execute. Okay, so once again, click name. Look at my buffs. Yeah, I still have them. Okay, but I think maybe for the next one I don't. Shazzrah. Here's PD, here's Kayla, here's ramped up. So heroic strike, melee, execute, deep wound, bloodthirst. Did I execute here? Yes, I did. For 13.2k. Oh my gosh, he had 26,000 in execute. Kayla, 15.8k in execute. So I think I'm executing late. That doesn't make any sense. I think maybe I'm not hitting recklessness. I bet you that's what it is. I'm not hitting recklessness until late because I'm so used to queuing that with execute. In my mind, I learned it wrong. In my mind, I'm waiting to hit recklessness for execute phase, and execute phase doesn't start until my execute button ability shows up on my weak cores telling me that it's available. And I need to change my mindset from that and start looking at that kill timer. I believe that you want to get recklessness going 1 minute from boss kill. So that's probably all the difference in the world right there is what I'm guessing. So if I click on ramped up and I look at buffs, what's this up here? Source auras filter. Okay. Buffs. Okay. See, I don't have my buffs, but neither does anybody else because I killed them. That was my fault. It's unusual. It's not normal, but that was my fault. Here's PD. Look at his buffs. Yeah. See, his are gone too. Let's check Kayla. I'm not normally a problem in this area. It's just that I initially thought when they called my name, they meant for me to get on boss and face melt him before he killed us all. Because I was a little bit late to get to boss. I didn't have a charge up or anything. And it didn't take me long to figure it out, but what is this doing? What is going on here? There we go. Before I realized that they were telling me that I had living bomb on me and I needed to run away from groups. So I don't know, you know, I was pretty fast to respond, but in this game, you're either in the right spot or you're not on some of these things. See, he used his diamond flask on that fight. Okay, but no buffs, no world buffs. All right, moving on then. Sulfuron Harbinger, moved damage done. Kayla, green parsed, I must have been just shy. Well, I was a couple hundred shy of him. So, cleave, 60,000 damage, 36,000 in melee, 26,000 in deep wound. 67,000 in cleave, that's more. 36,000 in melee, that's comparable. 23,000 in deep wound, he did better on deep wound. 20,000 and 15,000 whirlwind and bloodthirst. He's a little bit better than me in both. Actually, I was better than him on bloodthirst. Which, to my understanding, well, this is a cleave situation. Whirlwind is probably the priority. I was about to say bloodthirst is better, but this was a cleave fight, so I probably should have prioritized whirlwind a little bit more. Okay, so I already know I'm missing my buffs, so we can move on. Golemagg, damage done. Okay, I finally parsed. I got a green. Besides Lucifron, this is the only one that I green parsed on. I led all warriors. That's good for me. 22,000 melee, almost 22,000 in heroic strike, 12,000 in deep wound. I had almost 10,000 in execute. How did PD do on execute? 7.8. Kayla, 8.8. So my execute phase went good on this one. Am I able to see if I got recklessness off? It's going to be under buffs, right? I don't see it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it. So it doesn't look like I popped it. Oh, here it is. Uptime of 10.73%. Let's compare that to everybody else. Well, not everybody, but PD and Kayla. PD buffs. Oh, he took a mighty rage potion. Notice I'm not really using blood rage. I don't I don't really need it. I'm building rage up awful fast. 17.5%. See, look at how much better he does than me at recklessness. So that's a definite area of improvement that I can make. And then Kayla. Blood Rage, here's 13.32. So I'm low man on the totem pole. Out of interest, let's just look at you, Cleo. 17.52%. So yeah, this looks like the next area that I really need to target is my recklessness uptime and the use of execute in general. Majordomo. So to me, maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but to me that makes my numbers even more impressive. I was already happy because I've jumped leaps and bounds beyond where I was. But to know that I'm where I'm at in relation to the other warriors with these kinds of major problems is very uplifting to me. And I even, you guys can't really see it here, but I even was messing around with overpower, like stance dancing to get those buffs towards the end of the raid. Maybe I can parse that out here. We'll try. Kayla led here. I am right on his tail, so we're pretty comparable. He had almost 52,000 in cleave damage. I had 51,000. 41.6 on melee. Only 37.7 for me. Deep wounds next. Yep. I pattern him on that, and then whirlwind and execute. See, once again, no execute. It's just bloodthirst. That's my major fail area now. Now that I've overcome this stuff that I told you about with the mouse keys and getting my key bindings right, I'm saying the same thing there. My key bindings and my priority system and muscle memory and stuff. Now that that's pretty much handled, execute is the next execute phase. I'm just going to call it that because it embodies everything. Popping recklessness and using execute. That's the next area I can focus in on. Let's go ahead and click on my name and see if I can. Yeah, see, here's overpower. Now it's only 2.34%, but I'm getting these buffs from my 6-piece set. I don't know where that would show up. Echoes. It's got to be this, right? Yeah, tier bonus 4-piece. 21% for Echoes of Battle Stance, 18% for Berserker Stance. That's not bad, right? How's that compared to the other guys? Are they running 6-piece? I don't even really know. Let's look at Kayla first. I'm almost positive he is not. He is not. No, he has it. Okay, he's a little bit better geared than I thought. 20% and about 18% for his. What were mine again? Kayla was at 20 and 18%. And I was 21% and 18%. Okay, so we're doing about the same. How about Petey? Where's that buffs? Here it is. Echoes. Okay, he doesn't use it a whole lot, and this may just be his philosophy. He's just sticking with Berserker and just dieseling through on that. I think actually that is his philosophy. So for me, I just now started kind of messing with this stuff, but I've got it set up with that macro that it's rather easy for me to get that done. With how fast we build rage up in a raid environment. Out of curiosity, I want to look at you, Cleo. I don't know if he's got the set pieces. Yeah, he doesn't have them yet. Okay, so Ragnaros. Marry him at an 82. Outperforming his gear level, too. All right. It's Petey, followed by Kayla, followed by me. So 64,000 in melee, 61,000 in heroic strike. Significantly better than me. Execute. How much execute damage should he do? 36,000. I had 22,000, so I'm not as bad as what I've been in the other fights, but I'm still way off the mark, right? How did Kayla do for execute? Oh, it's not even there. Kayla had 58,000 in melee. It doesn't mean that he didn't execute. It just means that his other abilities did a lot more damage. 50,000 for the heroic strike, 34,000 in bleed, the deep wound. They did. What's their percentages on heroic strike like? 21.65, 20.62, 18.61. Yeah, see, that's a problem. Okay. All right, well, that wraps it up then. For the logs, I feel like I've come a long way. It was such a grind. It took me all phase long, but I finally feel like I've figured out enough that the rest of what's left will come rather quickly. All right. Again, I'm Aesop Grim. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods, and I'll see you in the next episode. Well, there's not really a next episode for this, so I'll just say you guys take care.